pick?
I think Max Holloway. Charles Oliveira is going to come out there, put the pedal to the metal, make it just a hectic fight, come out there with that pressure. I think Max Holloway is going to have a little bit crisper boxing, be a little more fancy with his feet. And I don't think he's going to get overwhelmed with Charles Oliveira's pressure. I think he's going to be prepared for that. He's been fighting so long with such elite guys. He's going to be prepared for that pressure. But Charles Oliveira, I mean, that dude is so gnarly. So I think Max Holloway.
Max Holloway just dropped a bombshell that will shake the UFC to its core. Forget the usual striking versus grappling narrative. Holloway declared his intention to do the unthinkable, submit a submission artist in Charles Oliveira. This isn't just bravado, it's a direct challenge to the very identity of Du Bronx, a man renowned for his unparalleled ground game and record-breaking submissions. The audacity is staggering, revealing a mindset completely unafraid of stepping into Oliveira's domain, a true BMF move. This stunning declaration immediately sets the stage for a fight where expectations are not just subverted, but obliterated, promising a brutal war from the opening bell where every single second could change the outcome. Get ready.
Charles traditionally likes to do his business in that first 5-10 minutes. Is that his best chance? Charles Oliveira, to get the win here, is his best chance early in the fight.
Well, anytime you have the fight style of Charles Oliveira, it's always dangerous. Of course, last year he tried to become the lightweight champion again by going up against Ilia Topuria, and we saw what happened. He walked forward, it was a jab, pull back, right hand, left hook from Ilia Topuria, and that put him to sleep. But then he came back against Matheus Gamrot in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, last October. What a performance, right? Beat him anywhere the fight went. Of course, Matheus takes him down because that's what he does, and he did that at his peril. But it wasn't long before his back was taken and he was in a world of trouble. And then in the second round, goes out, picks him up, slams him down, takes his back, chokes him out. This is Matheus Gamrot that he did that to. Remember, Matheus Gamrot.
Holloway isn't just talking big, he's actively dismantling the superficial narrative surrounding this clash. Many label it a simplistic striking versus grappling showdown, with Max as the striker and Charles as the grappler. But Holloway fired back, reminding everyone this is mixed martial arts. He insists people are sleeping on Oliveira's striking, completely missing that Charles often hurts opponents on the feet first before taking them to the ground to finish them. This crucial insight from Max highlights a dangerous subtlety in Oliveira's game that many pundits overlook, proving the fight's complexity runs far deeper than anticipated. Max is forcing a re-evaluation of both fighters' complete arsenals, setting the tone for a truly unpredictable contest.
But if Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway go out there and do something crazy, if we get Charles Oliveira finishing Max Holloway in sensational fashion, jumping over the octagon, running into the crowd like Jose Aldo in Rio de Janeiro, or Charles Du Bronx Oliveira last time in October in Rio de Janeiro, if something like that happens and the fans want it, guess what? Ilia Topuria or Justin Gaethje, they would welcome it. Being the BMF champ as well, there'd be a potential that you would have the undisputed belt and the BMF belt both on the line in the same.
Both fighters are vastly different from their 2015 encounter. Max Holloway, once a high-volume gamer, has evolved into a fighter with a lot more tools. He's improved his back foot movement, perfected lateral shifts, and even integrated kicks and feigned takedowns into his arsenal, showcasing a complete, multifaceted approach he barely hinted at before. This isn't just an evolution, it's a complete reinvention of his fighting style, allowing him to approach opponents in myriad ways previously unseen. His ability to go high, low on the front or back foot demonstrates a dangerous fluidity that will test Oliveira's every defensive mechanism.
You know, the BMF thing to do would be to submit a submission artist. So, and never say never. You know, I'm gonna go out there find my fight done. I just can't wait for it, man. I think this is a huge fight. You know, Charles. I just actually saw another interview of him. I don't know why it's on my page all the time, but he was talking about how he's barely on decisions. He's barely on this. He barely get decisions. He don't think this is gonna be a decision. He wants a finish. So. You know, I feel the same. You know, I like finishing guys too. You know, yeah, I have more decisions than them, but we see what happened. I can't wait for March 7th, man. I'm so excited for this fight. It's going to be a fun one, and I think the fans are going to be real winners because it's going to be.
While Max has diversified, Charles Oliveira, according to some experts like Michael Bisping, largely fights the same way. Yet this predictability doesn't diminish his terrifying effectiveness. Oliveira remains 100% dangerous, a man who has accumulated the most wins, most submissions, and most bonuses in UFC history. His no-fear approach, walking opponents down and throwing bombs, makes him a threat in all areas, and getting on the ground with him is at your peril. This consistent, relentless style, combined with raw power and finishing instincts, ensures he's a formidable force, even if his fundamental approach hasn't dramatically shifted, making him a terrifying constant.
I think so the whole story right now is just everybody going in on with this fight is just that if it's striking, it's me, and if it's grappling, it's him. And I'm like, what are we talking about here? This is mixed martial arts. And I saw a crazy stat. Some guy said that I only fight strikers in all of my career, my whole career. I don't fight grapplers. I'm like, okay. So like the narrative is for this fight, I feel like is like, if we can keep it on the feet, it's me. And then if we go to the ground, it's like 200% him, which is crazy. You know, I feel like we both fought at the highest levels. We hit the highest pinnacle of each sport. We got the titles in our weight class, and we fought the best fighters in our weight class for years now. And that just blows my mind. You know, even with the, not only that about my ground, you know, just because I don't do it, people think it's something. So I think that's the storyline in this fight. But people keep sleeping on Oliveira, you know, even with his striking, you know. It's not like Oliveira is going and shooting on these guys and then out-grappling these guys. The reason why he's out-grappling most guys, or he does finish guys in his grappling, is because he hurts them, you know. He hurts them on the feet.
Max Holloway's legendary 2024 knockout of Justin Gaethje remains a defining moment, a testament to his devastating power and unyielding spirit. This was no ordinary victory. It was a starts-to-finish masterpiece, culminating in a final second faceplant knockout that rivaled any fight movie ending for sheer drama and impact. That performance wasn't just a win, it was a declaration, solidifying his status as an unstoppable force. It showcased a Max who can not only endure but also deliver game-changing power, proving he possesses the ability to end fights in the most spectacular fashion, a chilling preview for Oliveira.
I think he's right there with Arman. I feel like he kind of goes under the radar because Arman's a wrestler and Max is a striker. And I feel like people kind of lean towards the Russian wrestler type of fighter. But I think maybe stylistically Arman's a harder fight for Ilya. But at the same time, Max versus Ilya was a competitive fight. Like that first fight was competitive. And I think if you now put it at 155, where we see Max has more power and a better durability, not really cutting that much weight, it's a really good fight. Like, I think Max is right there skill-wise. He has great takedown defense as well. That's why I think he's going to beat Charles, because he has like 86% takedown defense or something ridiculous like that. And he's fought Volk, Charles the first fight, you know, Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, a lot of really high-level grapplers in the UFC. And I think on the feet, he has a big advantage against Charles, dude. I just see him pulling Charles into shots because Charles has improved. He's definitely leaned into the wrestling more, and I think that's a big factor here. But in terms of like when Charles gets aggressive, the head is just there to be hit the whole time. I just think Max is going to piece him up.
Charles Oliveira's resume speaks for itself, solidifying his status as a true legend of the sport. Beyond his record for most wins and submissions, his astonishing collection of most bonuses underscores his consistent commitment to delivering thrilling finish-heavy performances. He is not merely a technical grappler, he's a full-spectrum dangerous fighter, fearlessly walking down opponents and launching devastating strikes. His ground game is a labyrinth of peril, and his striking has developed into a potent weapon, forcing everyone to acknowledge his evolution into a well-rounded and undeniably fearsome competitor, ready to unleash chaos.
Yeah. With Charles Oliveira, he's already talking about the point down and all this kind of stuff. Do you think he's going to succumb to the Max Holloway sort of meet me in the middle mind games?
I don't even know
what Max Holloway wants, right? Like just land those open shots.
Yeah, I don't even know if Charles will get to that point, man. I feel like it might be a KO from Max inside 3, but if it gets to that point, I think Charles will do it. I think they will do it, and Charles does have power. He does have good durability. It's weird. He's like chinny, but he's not. Like, he gets dropped a lot, but he actually survives really well. So I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it can either be a KO from Max, like if he really follows up, because when he dropped Poirier bad like that, by the way, we've never really seen anybody do Poirier that bad again and again and again, like rocking him and dropping him bad. The ground and pound that he caught Poirier with was so bad. I feel like that would really fucking like take Charles out. But if it gets to that point, then I think Charles will oblige with the point down.
The BMF title adds an unprecedented layer of intensity to this already epic showdown. Michael Bisping suggests a sensational finish from either fighter, followed by a dramatic celebration, could trigger a seismic shift across the entire division. Such a moment would create irresistible momentum, compelling top contenders like Ilia Topuria or Justin Gaethje to accept a challenge that could unify the undisputed title with the BMF belt. This fight isn't just about personal glory, it's a potential kingmaker, a catalyst for a completely new landscape in the lightweight division, with consequences reaching far beyond March 7.
Pick.
I think Max Holloway. Charles Oliveira is going to come out there, put the pedal to the metal, make it just a hectic fight, come out there with that pressure. I think Max Holloway is going to have a little bit crisper boxing, be a little more fancy with his feet. And I don't think he's going to get overwhelmed with Charles Oliveira's pressure. I think he's going to be prepared for that. He's been fighting so long with such elite guys. He's going to be prepared for that pressure. But Charles Oliveira, I mean, that dude is so gnarly. So I think Max Holloway.
Many experts are leaning towards Max Holloway, including UFC legend Michael Bisping, who believes Max holds a decisive edge. Bisping predicts Oliveira will initiate a hectic fight, pushing relentless pressure from the outset. However, he sees Holloway's crisper boxing and more fancy feet as critical advantages, enabling him to avoid being overwhelmed by Charles's aggressive onslaught. Holloway's extensive experience against elite competition has prepared him for such a storm, giving him the strategic acumen to navigate and counter Oliveira's high-octane attack, suggesting a tactical masterclass is on the horizon.
Man, you know, I think it's going to be a good chess match between guys who utilize their length really well. And also, like, I feel like for Charles, how can he mix in some of those takedowns and fit-ins? Because Max Holloway is a guy that just, you know, he doesn't really get taken down, and when he does, he's not on the ground very long. So transitional submissions, I think for Charles, if he can be able to get some front headlock series stuff on Max. But I think for me, I lean more towards Max just because of his style and his ability to be in and out of both stances and not really in one place at one time. And, you know, so, oh man, what is that, March 4th? So we're coming up on March 7th. Yeah, pretty quick, man. So great fight. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I lean towards Max just because I think of his all-around skills.
Bisping further emphasized the unique danger presented by Charles Oliveira, stressing that the critical question isn't if he's dangerous, but when he's at his most lethal. Oliveira has traditionally found his greatest success and unleashed his most devastating attacks in the early stages, often within the first 5 to 10 minutes of a fight. This early aggression, characterized by relentless attacks and submission attempts, can instantly change the course of a bout. Facing Charles, particularly in these opening moments, is akin to walking a tightrope, where one misstep could lead to an immediate and irreversible finish.
I think Charles is going to be Charles. Very good submission game, but it's not a wrestler. He's not going to be able to take him down and do that, you know. And Max ain't going to take him down. I think Max is more of a volume striker, puncher. I think Charles has more weapons, but Charles does get touched a lot, and he I think in every fight since I can remember, he's been dropped, you know. So besides the last one, but usually like every fight he gets touched and he gets dropped, whether it's early in the fight or late in the fight.
Oliveira's comeback against Matheus Gamrot last October in Rio de Janeiro stands as a stark reminder of his unparalleled resilience and finishing ability. Despite Gamrot, a formidable wrestler, securing a takedown early, Oliveira quickly reversed the situation, taking Gamrot's back and putting him in a world of trouble. In the second round, Oliveira delivered a spectacular slam, again taking Gamrot's back, and secured a choke for the finish. This performance against a highly respected grappler showed Charles can turn seemingly disadvantageous positions into devastating finishes, proving his dangerous adaptability on the ground, even when taken down by elite opponents.
I give Max the edge.
For me, Max gonna take his revenge. For me, Max is ready to fight Charles. Take good takedown defense, good, very high level striking, and
the potential for a crazy fight and a sensational finish could rewrite the entire division's trajectory, according to Bisping. Imagine Charles or Max delivering a highlight reel knockout or submission, then leaping into the crowd like Jose Aldo once did in Rio. Such a moment wouldn't just be a win, it would generate an undeniable wave of momentum, making it impossible for fighters like Ilia Topuria or Justin Gaethje to ignore the call for an undisputed title shot, possibly even with the BMF belt on the line. It's a moment-based sport, and this fight has all the ingredients for a legacy-defining spectacle. Max Holloway is entering this fight with a clear, uncompromising objective, a finish. He explicitly stated, "I don't think this is going to be a decision." He wants to finish. So, I feel the same. This mutual desire for a decisive end, from both the submission artist and the volume machine, guarantees fireworks from the very first bell. Holloway's determination to avoid the judges, mirroring Oliveira's own finishing mentality, promises a relentless pace and high-stakes exchanges, ensuring that every strike, every scramble, and every second within the octagon will be absolutely critical to the outcome. Bedtime MMA offered an incredibly bold prediction, suggesting Max Holloway could secure a decisive KO victory inside 3 rounds. This forecast hinges on Max's lethal combination of striking power, renowned durability, and an elite 86% takedown defense. Facing top-level grapplers like Ortega and Edgar, Holloway has honed his ability to turn an opponent's aggression into openings. The analyst believes Max can exploit Oliveira's forward pressure, picking him apart with precise counters while maintaining control of the fight. This aggressive prediction underscores the belief that Max's improved power at 155 pounds could truly surprise Oliveira. A curious observation about Charles Oliveira's durability has emerged. He gets dropped a lot, but he actually survives really well. This seemingly contradictory trait highlights his incredible resilience and ability to recover under fire. While his chin might not be ironclad, his mental toughness and survival instincts are unquestionable, allowing him to endure significant damage and continue fighting. This unique characteristic makes him an unpredictable opponent. Even when seemingly hurt, he remains dangerous, capable of turning the tables in an instant, adding another layer of intrigue to how he'll handle Holloway's infamous volume. The memory of Max Holloway's devastating ground and pound against Dustin Poirier still haunts the lightweight division. Max dropped Poirier bad, delivering damage that, according to some, nobody had really seen anybody do Poirier that bad again and again. This visceral display of finishing power, where Max rocked and dropped Poirier repeatedly, serves as a chilling warning for Oliveira. It demonstrates that Holloway isn't just a volume striker. He possesses the raw, fight-ending force to inflict severe trauma on even the toughest opponents, hinting at a potential early finish if he catches Oliveira flush. Coach Tim Welch anticipates an explosive start, with Oliveira aggressively pushing the pace and forcing chaos. However, Welch believes Holloway's vast experience against elite competition will be his ultimate shield. Max possesses the unique ability to absorb the pressure, utilizing his sharp striking and intelligent movement to maintain control even against Oliveira's raw aggression. Welch sees Max's superior timing and refined skill as the key factors that will allow him to navigate the storm and ultimately emerge victorious, emphasizing that tactical brilliance will overcome sheer aggression in this high-stakes encounter. Eric Miksic views this matchup as a profound chess match, a tactical battle where both fighters effectively use their length. While Oliveira will undoubtedly seek takedowns or transitional submissions, Miksic stresses Max Holloway's exceptional takedown defense and constant movement, making him incredibly difficult to control on the ground. Miksic leans towards Max just because of his style and all-around skill set, particularly highlighting Holloway's fluid transitions between stances and his inability to stay in one place. This dynamic approach ensures a fast-paced, ever-changing clash that will test every facet of both fighters' games. Alex Perez echoes the sentiment that while Charles Oliveira's submission game is undeniably elite, he is not a wrestler. This crucial distinction means Oliveira relies more on transitions and opportunities rather than pure wrestling prowess to secure takedowns. Perez believes Holloway's high-level takedown defense and relentless volume striking will prevent Oliveira from getting the ground control he needs. Coupled with Oliveira's tendency to get touched a lot and frequently dropped in fights, Perez gives Holloway the edge, confident that Max's persistent pressure and sharp punching will tip the scales in his favor, even against Oliveira's diverse arsenal. Farazim confidently predicts Max Holloway will not only assert himself but seek revenge in this high-stakes rematch. He highlights Max's very high-level striking and good takedown defense as pivotal factors that will negate Oliveira's primary weapons. While acknowledging Oliveira will bring relentless action and ensure an exciting clash, Farazim believes Holloway's refined skills will allow him to dominate the exchanges. He foresees a fast-paced, high-level fight where Max will push Oliveira to his absolute limits, ultimately seizing control and making a definitive statement in the octagon against his former opponent. Ayman Zahabi adds further weight to the consensus favoring Holloway, giving Max a significant 60-40 advantage based on his striking superiority and extensive experience. Zahabi praises Max's range, undeniable durability, and proven ability to handle intense pressure. Crucially, he expresses doubt that Oliveira will successfully secure the takedowns or submissions necessary to win, suggesting Holloway's defensive grappling will hold up. While acknowledging Oliveira's skills make the fight unpredictable, Zahabi emphasizes that Max's overall game offers a distinct advantage, positioning him as the more likely victor in this elite matchup. However, Neil Magny offers a compelling counter-narrative, throwing his support behind Charles Oliveira. Magny emphasizes Oliveira's incredible versatility, pointing out that Charles can finish fights on the feet, on the ground, or go the distance, making him a threat in any scenario. Crucially, Magny highlights Oliveira's move up to 155 pounds as a significant advantage, freeing him from the arduous weight cuts and injury concerns that plagued his 145-pound career. With more tools and fewer limitations, Magny sees Oliveira entering this fight with a clear edge, capable of imposing his will from bell to bell. Central to the argument for Max Holloway is his staggeringly impressive 86% takedown defense. This elite statistic, honed against top-tier grapplers like Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, and Marvin Vettori, is not just a defensive measure, it's an offensive weapon. It allows Max to control where the fight takes place, frustrating opponents who seek to take him down. This near-impenetrable defense, combined with his striking prowess, means Oliveira will have an incredibly difficult time dictating the pace or taking the fight to his preferred domain, severely limiting Charles's most dangerous tools. So who truly has the edge when these titans collide? Will Max Holloway's evolved striking, impenetrable takedown defense, and audacious desire to submit a submission artist prevail? Or will Charles Oliveira's relentless pressure, diverse finishing capabilities, and newfound strength at 155 pounds prove too much? This isn't just a fight, it's a collision of wills, a tactical masterpiece waiting to unfold where every second is critical and one mistake could decide everything. The experts are divided, the stakes are sky high, but one thing is certain, fans are guaranteed to be the real winners, witnessing a destructive war that could reshape the entire division.